watching your son out on the court yesterday?
Emotional, heart pumping, for seeing Sam and then just everything around that, the crowd, being back at the center again, seeing the feeling, the atmosphere, so different than it was, decades and decades ago when I played there. So all of that just rolled into one big kind of snowball of just a fantastic emotion and moment. And then the fact that they played well and they won and all that was just, I kind of took it all in later yesterday, So yeah,
what does it feel like to have that legacy continue with Sam?
Unexpected, just beauty and joy, because he didn't really start out playing basketball. He played soccer before he played basketball. So to come to basketball and then to see and feel his and know his journey, through junior college and college, and then coming in, Melbourne development player, and then to just get better and better and better as a complete player. It is about the fact that he has my name. That's powerful, of course. I'm not going to deny that. But as a person too, to see how he has grown and developed and nurtured, his own growth and become his own player as his own man, has been a pleasure, to say the least. Yeah.
He is quite a different player to what you were. Are you, I suppose, surprised by that?
Not really, because as I said, he's grown in his own skill level, and he's a modern day player. I was purely a scorer, and even last night, to see what he did last night, not just the points he got, but the rebounds he got, but just the active hands, the deflections, and the key plays at key moments. I remember Charles Barkley said something about, they asked him, so what do you see yourself, as a small forward or a power forward? And he said, no, I'm just a basketball player. And that's how I think, the healthy players in all sport just grow. It's just seeing themselves as players. And I think Sam's a classic example of that, moving from Melbourne United, where he was pretty much an on-ball defender, an elite defender, to becoming more of a scorer, doing other little things, better rebounder, more responsibility, all that. So just seeing that progression of growth is the most exciting thing. Yeah.
Do you talk to him about his game and give him advice?
Texts. It's like, here's the old man with another text, one finger.
What advice?
Make sure you face the basket on every catch. Don't settle for, So just like all positive, just adding on things that that he's done. He knows, he's played enough games and he's professional enough to know I don't need to reinforce anything that he might have done wrong. I tend to reinforce the positives and say build from that, whether it's be aggressive, when you catch and face the basket and don't settle for threes, or, finish strong at the rim, whatever it might be. So just reinforcing the positives.
And what do you think of the JackJumpers as a whole, and what they've built in such a short period of time, and how they're going so far?
Now, obviously I've got an emotional connection there, but if I look at it from an objective, purely, business entity, new foundation, all of that, I think they're doing a fantastic job. You couldn't help but look from the outside and go look at the crowd yesterday, look at the atmosphere, look at the products that they're putting, forward as a new sporting entity that's to be envied for sure. And in terms of what they're doing on the court, there's just that development and process of learning to trust each other more. The core nucleus of the group that they have, learning to trust each other in key moments. You look at the Sydney game where they played very good basketball for probably 3.5 quarters, and then things let down where where the pressure comes and guys don't trust each other as much, and then that has an effect on the outcome, sort of thing. So it's just that gelling and bonding, and it's an overused word, but just that ability to trust each other on court is going to make the product even stronger going forward. Yeah.
You played in Hobart for quite a while. How passionate are Tasmanians about a product like having their own NBL team and now for the JackJumpers?
I think very passionate. And I think even just saying to Sammy, like, it's a different era. I mean, Tasmania and Hobart in particular are completely different areas in terms of the makeup of people and the mentality of the people than it was in, the late 80s, early 90s. There's just more vibrancy here as a community. So I think people will embrace it wholeheartedly. And as I said before, I think it's an entity where the whole state, it can't just be, where the Devils were a Hobart team. It can't just be Hobart. It can't just be Launceston. It can't just be little pockets. It has to be a state entity. The state has to be behind, the team 100%. So I'm really excited the fact that they're going to play games, up north and stuff like that. I think that's paramount.
How does it make you feel seeing basketball thriving at the moment in Tassie?
Oh, it's fantastic. Like, I honestly didn't think, I knew Larry and his team were putting together what they needed to do to get the job done, but to see it in reality, to see it in actuality on the ground as a working kind of, entity, and what they've been able to do in a relatively short period of time from a professional kind of point of view has been fantastic. It's I'm looking forward to coming down to as many home games as I can, and just absorbing it all. Yeah.
Sort of just backing over the same thing, but how proud are you that Sam is a part of a Tasmanian team as you were?
It's like, you just, it's that whole kind of notion of staying in the moment. Like, you be in the moment. Like, they've played 5 games, the long season to go. I'm so excited for obviously what he's doing and how he's developing in a short period of time and how the team is doing, getting their second win. So for me, it's more about just like staying in the moment with it all, so when I come down to Tassie and just whatever game they're playing, whatever the vibe may be, just to see them grow and just get that little bit better each week is exciting. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.